Congrats, girl. You have made it to Friday. So happy Friday. I did promise you guys on Tuesday that I will be back today, Friday, to share with you a sort of comparison of the Love Notions shirt patterns. So if you are into shirt making, then this is the perfect video for you. Did I mention that all except one of these patterns is currently on spring sale at a whopping 40% off for like regular folk. But for you, my special viewers, you can grab these patterns at a whopping 45% off if you use my code. So keep on watching. Hey Stitches, it's your girl Kris. Welcome to the channel if you're new, or welcome back if you are an OG. First, let us address the elephant in the room. Am I seriously coming at you guys today on Friday to talk about a Love Notions pattern in an unfinished Love Notions pattern? Like, oh my goodness, you guys, I can explain. This is the Love Notions newest release. It is the Bluegrass shirt. But you guys, I did not have any buttons in my stash that I thought complemented this make. It just drives me crazy that I cannot just run out to any store and buy myself some buttons. No, I had gone on a recent trip and I did pick up some buttons on that trip, but none of them seemed to me to go with the vibe of this shirt. Now, you might notice that there is some purling detail on my shirt. That is obviously not included in the pattern, but you know your girl needed to add just a little bit of her own island flavor to this shirt, and I feel like it is so me. If only I had some pearl buttons or pearl snaps in my stash. Then I would have been talking to you guys in a completed bluegrass shirt. Let me just stand up really quickly to show you guys what it looks like. This is the purling detail. I did it with a pearl press or pearl clamp or something like that. And I just did it on the front portion of my shirt. I contemplated adding some to my sleeves, but I was kind of against that. And I also thought about putting some on my cuffs, but then I figured if I wanted to roll up my cuffs, then having like a whole whack of beading on the cuff would prevent me from doing that. And my goal is always to have versatile pieces. Although, to be fair, this is probably not the most versatile piece since it's covered in pearls. Like, I cannot pretend like this is anything else but a pearl-covered button-down shirt. Anyways, it is, as I said, the Love Notions newest release. It is called the Bluegrass shirt. So maybe, should I start talking to you guys about this one first? Or should I be making you guys like wait to the end? Is that like a suspension trick or something to get you guys to watch this entire video? Whatever, I've already started. So I am going to be using my laptop today because in previous times, I have tried to sort of get all of this information crammed into my brain and then attempted to regurgitate it to you here on camera and be as precise as possible. I have not always been very successful with that. So hey, laptop it is. Now, please forgive me because you are going to get a little bit of glare because your girl has to wear her glasses. Ugh, I do shy away from wearing my glasses. If I can get away with not wearing them, I won't wear them. But I recently had another eye check and the optician confirmed that I do have astigmatism and I should be wearing my glasses, especially when using computer screens. Ugh. So, here we go. You guys, do not laugh at me. Right, so as I was saying, this is the Love Notions Bluegrass shirt. And it is the most recent addition to the Love Notions catalog. Unfortunately, this one is not on the 45% off sale, but you can get it at a reduced price. If I'm not mistaken, it is about $9.50, and you can get it at that price for about a week or so. My recommendation to you guys is to definitely go ahead and pick this one up. I've made it just this one time and I already can tell that this is going to be a pattern that is going to be repeated in my closet. Now, as with all other Love Notions patterns, the Bluegrass shirt is available from an extra small all the way up to a 5XL and comes with 2 bust cup options. This is the same for every single pattern that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. So hopefully I will not forget that I told you already and end up repeating myself. I do not want to sound like a stuck record. It means that if you are a little bit more well endowed, Love Notions is a great pattern company for you to explore, because it means that if you have about a 4-inch difference or so, you do not have to do a full bust adjustment. It has already been done for you. Now that the sizing is out of the way, again, it goes for all of the patterns that I'm talking about. Let me break down all of the features that Bluegrass offers. Now, this pattern comes as a shirt, and there is also a dress option. Now, I'm not going to give you many of the details about the dress option because I haven't sewn it and because this is a comparison of the shirt. But you might want to bear in mind that if you buy this pattern, then you can make it up as a traditional shirt, but you can also decide to make it as a shirt dress. And like, who can go wrong with a shirt dress? Now, the Bluegrass is the only one of today's patterns that features princess seams. And you guys, I love me a princess seam. I will choose a princess seam any day, every day, over bust darts or no darts at all. If you are like me and you like princess seams, then this is going to be your shirt pattern of choice. Now, for my particular version, I did play around with the princess seam just a tad bit, in that I lowered the apex by 1/2 inch. My girls do not sit as loud and proud as they used to, and so I do have to make that pattern adjustment just so that the curvature of the princess seam coincides with my apex. It might sound like it is a difficult adjustment. I assure you it is not. It is a matter of drawing a box right around the apex portion of your shirt and then going ahead and lowering that baby, or raising it as the case may be, because maybe you are fortunate and your girls are nice and proud on your chest, and instead of lowering it, you might need to raise your apex. I'm just letting you guys know that that is not my story, and so I did lower the apex of this pattern by 1/2 inch. Now, in addition to the princess seams, this one also has a traditional collar, in that there is a collar stand and a collar. It comes with long sleeves, and the long sleeves do have a cuff, even though I've rolled mine up because they're just sort of like flapping around because I do not have the right buttons. And this cuff has a tower placket. I'm just going to pause to tell you guys that I am amazed by this tower placket. I have done maybe 3 or so tower plackets before. This one is definitely the best done tower placket I have ever done. So that is proof, I think, that practice, although it might not mean perfection, definitely means progress. So as I said, this one has long sleeves with a cuff. I am choosing to roll mine up. I like the ability to roll up my cuffs. And if I don't ever get right buttons, you guys, I might be living in this shirt with rolled up cuffs. It is what it is. Now, the Bluegrass also does come with optional bust pockets. I decided not to include any pockets on my version. There is, I think, a regular pocket, and then there's a pocket with like a pocket flap situation. And you can do 1 or you can do 2. As I said, I opted to do none because I did have in mind that I wanted to do this purling detail. Now, talking about the purling detail right around like the shoulder area, this pattern also has front and back yokes that are optional. They're sort of more design elements than anything else because they are constructed and then top stitched down onto your shirt. So it's not like when you do a traditional shirt that has like a burrito method with the yoke. This one, you sew the shirt just as I have sewn my shirt, and then you will attach the yoke pieces to the front and to the back if you want to, using a top stitch method. Now, there are 2 different back yokes. There is, I think, like a V yoke, and then one that looks like a scallop in the back, and then the same thing for like the front yoking detail. As I said, I did not add the yokes to my version. 1, because I'm not sure if that is quite my style. And in addition to that, I knew it was going to mess around with the placing of my pearls. Now, this shirt pattern, I would say, has a tailored fit. When I tried it on, you guys, I was like, wait, should I have blended up to a larger size at the tummy area? It is one of 2 things, you guys, because typically I make a large in the standard bust for Love Notions patterns, and that is exactly what I selected for this pattern. I did not have the time to do like a muslin or a mock-up or anything like that, so I just hit the ground running. But now, when I pinned it together, I'm like, oh my goodness, did I really gain 10 pounds and I cannot fit into this shirt? Or is it that it is really tailored? So you might want to pay attention to the sizing if you decide to grab this one. If you prefer a more loose loose fit around the tummy area, you might want to consider grading up. Now, all in all, I really do like this shirt pattern. I am going to be bringing you a full review here on the channel soon enough with all the nitty-gritty, a little bit of the behind the scenes, and how I came up and executed this purling design. But if I do that all today, you guys, one, you won't have a reason to come back. And two, this video is going to be way too long. So if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Turn your notification bell on, and that means whenever that video drops, and any other video as a matter of fact, then you will be in the know. Right, so that is my quick and dirty review of the Bluegrass shirt and dress by Love Notions. Right, so the next Love Notions shirt pattern that I wanted to talk about is the Aria shirt and shirt dress. You guys, I made this pattern once before, but it is somewhere in my UFO pile. It's not. So I've also been working on this right here. I've just had in my mind this military inspired shirt dress, and this is what I've come up with so far. It's got a tuck right here, and I think I need another tuck just about here, and also on the other side to improve the side shaping. I'm thinking about putting epaulets on the top, and I was thinking about adding sleeves, but when I tried this dress on, it feels a little narrow across my shoulders and a tad bit tight across my boobs. So it's not because of the pattern, it is because I had another brilliant idea that I was going to try and upcycle a skirt that went completely wrong. I wanted to use the army green twill and to pair that with a camouflage in order to make up this dress. And it just went to shit, you guys. It was horrendous, and so I never finished it. I started it, I gave it one try on, I'm like, why is it behaving in this way? And the rest is history. I just never finished it. I have promised to go back in and try this pattern again because it comes as a shirt dress. And if you have been here long enough, then you know I have a soft spot, not only for shirts, but for shirt dresses as well. So I definitely need to go ahead and give the Aria another try. Now, the Aria comes again with a traditional collar and collar stand, and it has optional breast pockets as are similar with the Bluegrass. Now, there are three different sleeve options on the Aria. There is a sleeveless version, there is a short version, and then there's a long sleeved version. So a little bit more versatility in terms of the sleeve when you compare the Aria with the Bluegrass. Now, there are no darts included in the Aria. It's quite I think it is semi-fitted throughout the bust, and then a comfortable or kind of loose fit throughout the rest of the dress, or at least it's intended to be that way. There is a back yoke with a pleat as well, and there is a button placket. I forgot to mention on the Bluegrass that there's also a traditional button placket. You have to sew your placket to the front of your shirt, right sides together, and then turn it under and do some top stitching. And the same goes for the Aria shirt and shirt dress. There is going to be a traditional collar. Now, I have seen some really, really great versions of the Aria. So I hope I have not deterred you from checking out this pattern, because I told you about my personal woes when I tried to make it up. As I said, it has nothing to do with the pattern and everything to do with me. I thought I had a brilliant idea. I thought I wanted to upcycle a garment, but it just didn't turn out the way I wanted. I still do think it is a great pattern, and I still do think that is one of them that you should consider adding to your cart for today's final day of the 45% off sale. Use my code. I don't think I have told you before what it is in this video. It is Unsewcial, and you can save yourself not 40%, but 45% off this pattern and the other patterns that I'm going to be sharing in this video. Remember, I said it does not apply to the Bluegrass pattern. Now, the third button down that I want to talk about was my very first Love Notions make, you guys. And it is a make that scored me a spot as a Love Notions ambassador. It is the Melody Dahlman shirt. I made this one I want to say like maybe 2019 or 2020. Have I been an ambassador for really this long? Oh my goodness. I made that up using a purple and white striped fabric. And I love that shirt. It is still in my wardrobe and I still wear her quite often, especially to the office. Now, the Melody Dolman, unlike the first two shirts that I spoke of, does not have a traditional collar with a collar stand. It has, I think it's called a camp collar. It means that there is a facing on the front of the shirt that goes up into the collar, and then you turn back your collar and it sort of has like a notched effect right between the facing and the collar. I'm hoping that makes sense. For those of you who have been sewing for any time, you are probably familiar with a camp collar. But just in the event that somebody here is a beginner and you have no idea what a camp collar is, I know I'm not doing the best job at explaining it, but I'll go ahead and pop the line drawings in, and I'm hoping that will help you just to see the difference between a standard collar and a camp collar. Now, between the two, I guess a camp collar is probably easier to sew than a traditional collar with a collar stand. Trying to get your collar stand to be accurate and very neat can be a little bit tricky. And with the bluegrass in particular, the collar stand is quite narrow, so it does have a potential to be a little bit finicky. And so perhaps sewing a camp collar is easier. And if you're a beginner, maybe you might consider sewing up the Melody Dolman first before you go ahead and try something like the bluegrass or the aria. No, the Melody does have, I think it is like a hip length, but it does have a tie front version. So you can scoop it up in the front and then just put a knot right at the tummy area. I guess you could do the same thing with the aria shirt and with this bluegrass shirt, but the Melody has been specifically designed with that in mind. Now, the Melody does not have any additional sleeves, and that is another reason why it is beginner friendly. It is a Dolman sleeve, which means that the shoulder seam is extended on to the upper arm, and you do not have to worry with setting in a sleeve. You will have to go ahead and attach a cuff, and I have found that cuffs can be a little bit irritating, dare I say. But having sewn the Melody Dolman not once, but I think 2, 3, maybe even 4 times, the cuff isn't that bad, you guys. It really isn't that bad. Now, the Melody Dolman also comes with the additional pocket. You can decide to omit the pockets. I often do. I have a thing about pockets on the bust area, like how useful are they? They might add an additional design element to your garment. You can play around with some piping or some other types of detail in the pocket if you wanted to. But in terms of practicality, for me personally, I don't necessarily find them to be very practical. The most that I end up putting in my shirt pockets is like a piece of tissue. So, is that worth the additional time that it takes to attach the pocket? For me, not usually. I do it sometimes. I did do it on a Simplicity shirt dress that I made recently. There is a full review here on the channel. That one was a slow sew, but I did add those pockets just because it had an additional detail that I thought was fun. And I also wanted to break up the print just a little bit. Anyways, that is a completely different story. Check out this video right here if you are intrigued about that Simplicity pattern. Right, so the Melody Dolman does not have a traditional placket. So you do not have to contend with the traditional placket, but you do have to do the facing that I referred to earlier. Now, the Melody Dolman is a more relaxed fit, I think, through the tummy and the hips, at least as compared to the bluegrass shirt. And so for those of us who have a little bit more tummy, maybe the Melody Dolman would be a better fit, even if it's probably a little bit more casual as compared to the bluegrass. Now, the final shirt pattern that I wanted to compare and contrast to the bluegrass is the band camp shirt. You guys, I absolutely love the Bandcamp shirt. This one was released in, I think it was September or October last year. And I sewed mine up using an amazing funky print that was gifted to me by my girl, Carol. I did share all of my thoughts on that make here on the channel. Hopefully I can find the thumbnail. If I can, I will pop it in right here so you can go in and check out all of the details, like the intricate details of the band camp shirt. It is like the Melody Dolman, a camp style shirt, Again, that means there is no traditional collar and collar stand to contend with, but this one is a more boxy fit. So the Melody Dolman is relaxed fit through the tummy and the hips, but the Bandcamp shirt is more square and structured right the way down the body line. So from the bust down to, I want to say like the high hip area, it's just a straight kind of line. You're not going to get much shaping with the Bandcamp shirt. And so I feel like the Bandcamp shirt ties in quite nicely with the spring and summer trends. I had shared my thoughts on that trend situation on Tuesday's video. And because this boxy, oversized button-down shirt silhouette is trending, then I feel like the Bandcamp definitely coincides with that trend. Now, the Bandcamp shirt has optional pockets. Again, you can decide to omit them if you want to. There is a back yoke with a pleat, or you can have no yoke and just have a plain back bodice. That is the same with this bluegrass shirt. You can just have the plain back, which is exactly what I did. So there's no breaking up, there's no seam line at the back of my shirt. Now, the Bandcamp shirt also has bust darts included for the full bust option only. And if I'm not mistaken, it is the only one of the 4 patterns that I'm referring today that has bust darts. Now, for the other 2 that do not have bust darts, the bust dart has been included in the drafting of the pattern. So you will not actually sew a bust dart. But for the Bandcamp shirt, if you're making the full bust option, then you will actually have to sew a bust dart just to add a little bit more shaping to the bust line. I guess it's because the silhouette is otherwise very boxy. Now, there are 3 sleeve options for the Bandcamp shirt. There is a sleeveless option, a short sleeve option, and a long sleeve option. Now, when I made my Bandcamp shirt, I made it up using the long sleeve version, and it had cuffs, but I did roll up my cuffs similar to this one, just for a little bit of extra versatility. And so I've rocked that shirt with my sleeves down and with them rolled up. So the Bandcamp shirt is a definite must-have, in my opinion, for your Love Notions wardrobe. As a matter of fact, all of the patterns that I'm sharing with you guys today should be must-haves in your wardrobe. Even though they're all shirt and or shirt dress patterns, there are significant differences between and amongst them that would justify owning not just one, but all 4 of these patterns. Now, those are the basics about these shirts. But let me just take a minute to talk about hacking potential. Now, I am a proponent of pattern hacking, not because I don't think patterns are well drafted, but just because I think it is an additional way that I can put my very own spin on patterns. Now, on the contrary, I think I mentioned it in Tuesday's video as well. Good pattern hacking needs good basis. You want to make sure your pattern fits you great right off the bat, even if it means making fitting adjustments before you go ahead and hack them. And I have found Love Notions to have really, really well drafted patterns. And I'm not just saying that because I am an ambassador, but because I am sometimes involved in the drafting process, not the actual penciling in of the pattern, but in terms of testing the pattern and supplying Tammy and Tessa with feedback. It is an extensive process, and in the long run, I think it's worthwhile because Love Notions does have really well drafted patterns, perfect in my opinion for hacking. Now, of these 4 patterns, the one that I have hacked the most is the Melody Dolman. I hacked that one 2 times. The first time I did an open back, I think, with a tie. I had seen that on Pinterest. If I can find a picture, then I'll go ahead and pop it in. And for the second one, I was making a black and white collection, and I hacked the Melody Dolman to have like a very open back, and then it had strips of fabric throughout the back, and then there were some like diamante rhinestone situation buckles on the back. But I never finished that hack because I did not like how the yoke was fitting. I overlooked, I guess, the fact that in removing the shirt part from the yoke, it would result in gaping at the yoke because the yoke then doesn't have anything to sort of hold it down along the curvature of my back. So again, it's not because of the pattern. It is because I thought I was so smart but I really was not. If I can find a picture of my, oh, never mind, I don't need a picture. It's right here on my rack. So this is my Melody Dolman hack. I made it in this black fabric. I'm not even sure what this fabric is, you guys. And I decided to add some piping to the collar, which is a really, really fun detail on an otherwise basic type fabric. And for the back, I did the yoke, and then I did these, what do you call these? Like strap situation. I don't think the fabric was the best either, because my straps kind of just hang very stiffly, like they don't have a nice drape to it. I don't think I cut my straps on the bias either. I was running from that additional stretching of the straps on the bias. But again, I thought I was smart, but I really wasn't. But you guys, I will make the Melody Dolman again. It's just that this hack did not turn out the way I wanted. And that happens sometimes, you guys. It's all part of the sewing game. You do not always get it right. Sometimes you have to go and review some things and make some changes. But I think it would have been cute if it worked out. So it would have been like more like business in the front and then bam, party in the back. Maybe one day I'll go back and revisit it. But you guys, in all honesty, today is not the day. No, I have not really hacked the bluegrass pattern as yet because it's brand new. I did make a couple of fit adjustments, which I will tell you about when I do a deep dive into this pattern. But I feel like this is also going to be one that packs some hacking potential. Now, I wouldn't necessarily consider the purling a hack because I did not change the structure of the pattern. It's just something that I added to it aesthetically. But yeah, in the future, I'm definitely going to go ahead and hack this pattern. As I said, I tried the area and screwed it up. And the bandcam shirt, I have not got around to hacking it. You guys, there are just so many things to sew and so little time. But they do pack good potential, as I'm saying, for pattern hacking. So if you are new to pattern hacking or you are curious about pattern hacking, then you can start small, making little adjustments and building yourself up to big hacks like what I was trying to accomplish with this Melody Dolman. Right, you guys, there are a couple other patterns on the Love Notions site that probably could have been incorporated into this video because they do have some shirt types of details like the button front and so on and so forth. But these are the 4 that looked more to me like a traditional type shirt. And so these are the 4 that I have decided to focus on. That being said, I will implore you guys to go on the Love Notion site, have a look through their entire catalog and see if you can find any other patterns that intrigue you, either in the original format or that you think will be great for pattern hacking purposes. Now, if you enjoyed today's video and you found it beneficial, be sure to go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. Do not forget to thumbs up. It doesn't mean a lot to you, but it means the world to me. YouTube really likes those kind of things, you guys. Getting my videos out there to other people who might be interested is really dependent on you. I have done as much as I can do. I have recorded the video, I have edited the video, and I have tried my best to do an appropriate thumbnail. I'm laughing because, oh my gosh, really? So now the rest is up to you guys who are watching and supporting me. It would mean the world to me if you would drop me a thumbs up and drop me a comment down below and let me know if you enjoyed today's video. Which of the 4 patterns is your favorite? Do you own any of these patterns? Have you had your eyes on any of these patterns? Are you going to be shopping the Love Notion sale? Today is the final day. And if you are, then do remember to use my code Unsewcial and save yourself 45% off almost the entire Love Notions catalog. That is patterns and courses. And just on a side, Love Notions has kids patterns and they do also have men's patterns. So it's not all about us ladies. So if you have little ones in your life or if you have a special someone in your life, then you can go and explore the men category as well. Now, if you have shopped this sale already and you have used my code already this week, then I do want to say a great big thank you to you for your continued support. It really does mean the world to me that you guys come back here week after week, video after video to check out whatever it is I have to say. And even more so, when you go ahead and use my affiliate codes, they do not cost you guys anything extra, but it means that I can gain just a little bit of commission that goes right back into the running of this channel. Patterns, fabrics, notions. If I don't have these things, then I'll have nothing to sew. And if I don't have anything to sew, I will have nothing to share with you guys. So it really is not only for my benefit, but for your benefit as well, if if you guys enjoy my content. So thank you guys so much if you have shopped the sale using my affiliate code, or if you will shop the sale using my affiliate code, then thank you so much in advance. Now, if you have made it through this entire video and you have not remembered to click the subscribe button, let me remind you, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And when you do so, do not forget to turn your notification bell on, because that means you will always be notified when I drop a new video. I typically aim for 3 videos a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. This last month and a half has just been, it's been cray, you guys. And so my schedule is really off, but I'm trying my best to get back on track. So please just bear with me. So again, thank you so much for being here. Like this video, drop me a comment, and be sure to subscribe and turn your notification bell on. Right, you guys, until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and go shop the last day of the Love Notions spring sale and use my code. Peace.